Everybody, welcome back to Wargaming.net Gold League, right here in the good old USA. I'm Joshua Clutch Gray, joined on the set by Randall Rukill Holcomb. We'll be bringing you live World of Tanks action for the next 3 weeks. Every night, Thursday to Sunday, 5 o'clock Pacific time. Come here, because we also have some great codes to give out as well. All you have to do is follow us on Twitter at WGLNA. Today, show us a picture of your gaming rig. Where do you command from? How do you decimate the fields of World of Tanks? And make sure to mention at WGLNA. We'll send you a code. If it's a really good one, they will let me know, and I'll go ahead and throw it up on my computer, and we'll read it out loud over the broadcast. We'll watch some World of Tanks action today. We watched Ute and Pico's show that happened today that went live, and then yesterday they had the esports show.
Yeah, I had to watch the esports show in recording. I didn't get to watch it live.
Because we're rehearsing.
We're here. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the face-off's ready, guys, for our match number 2, No Limit versus Hammer Time. Gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to day number 2.
Thank you.
Yo. Hammer Time, last night, you had a win over Nerve, and I have to say that Abbey play I really enjoyed, the water crossing. Do you attribute that to George Washington, to Napoleon? Where did you learn that?
Something I just pulled out of the air. I don't really know.
Well, very humble. Well, congratulations on one victory so far. Day number 2. How did you feel your team executed last night? Was it good? Did you have to make some changes? What happened overall?
Well, anytime you win, you think you play pretty well, but there's definitely still some errors that we made that we could have fixed. So there's still room for improvement.
Well, last night, No Limit, Floppy Giraffe, you guys had probably the closest series we've seen so far. Very close. It came down to Ruinberg. Simple Tankers had most of their tanks up to the north. What went wrong, and how are you to change that moving on to the rest of the season?
Honestly, I think we just overthought that, and we left open the biggest. We left open the middle side. We had covered everything else, and we didn't expect that 1390 to come in there to because he was going into flank on our cap, and when we hit the cap, he was right there to be able to just come back to reset quickly. So we had covered everything but the biggest door that we had left there, and it was really frustrating. It was just, I think we honestly should have won that match, but what can you do? It's just small mistakes, and move on from there.
You sound pretty shaken by that. Like, are you guys feeling confident? Are you guys coming back from this? Because
honestly, we were more pissed at ourselves. We're like, really? We just left something like that glaringly obvious open, and it's just, we're ready to move on and fix what we screwed up on last night and hopefully take the win tonight.
Well, you got to shake it off, and now you're up against Hammer Time, an opponent not to be underestimated. Do you have any words for Drynitz and Hammer Time before we start this match?
Not really. I got nothing other than they're calling me the super adorable teddy bear now or something. I don't know.
It's got to be the beard. You look so huggable.
Hey man, it's cold outside. I gotta keep the beard.
It is cold outside, but Hammer Time is ready to heat some things up. Drynitz, any words for your opponent before we start this?
Nope, just good luck.
All right, gentlemen, let's go ahead and look at the seating. Hammer Time has the higher seed, so you get to call the coin, heads or tails.
Go with tails again.
Tails never fails, and it is heads. It's spelled both times. All right, No Limit. What will be your map choice, or will you defer?
I will defer, please.
It will defer. Hammer Time, what is your map choice?
Let's play Cliffs.
Cliff will be the first map. No Limit. Where's your spawn position?
We'll go north.
North side on Cliff for No Limit. Hammer Time will take the south. Gentlemen, good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can feel that disappointment with the Floppy Giraffe and No Limit. That is one of the toughest things when it comes to competition, is when you and your team can do better, but there's some glaring error that happens, and you have to fix that error so it doesn't happen again. And you can really put yourself into a bit of a slump just thinking that way.
Yeah, you got to shake it off. You got to be able to get past losses or mistakes that you've made and say, we can't dwell on that. You got to put it in the past and go forward. Try and figure out what you did wrong and fix it.
Forward is the only direction.
It is the best direction.
It is the best direction. We need to have like a quote printed out with your face looking at it, and it says forward is the best
just
direction.
Just be like,
and sell those posters.
That's it's like it's a catchphrase. man.
WorldOfTanks.com coming soon. And then we have another poster of me with my arms crossed, standing in front of a T-32.
No
Behind it
cons.
says T-32, no cons.
Make a T-shirt.
America. That's right. All right, so we're just waiting for the guys to get ready here in the training room. Our admin takes care of that. And they usually have about 90 seconds till they can choose their tanks from when the map is chosen. And within those 90 seconds, sometimes they'll be a little bit cheeky and choose some different tanks. But
I love seeing that when like someone
once
readies
it's-
up silly
Once
tanks.
it's over, though, hey,
Yeah.
man, if you have a TOG 2 and that clock runs out, guess what? You're playing with the TOG 2.
Hey, Clutch, are you saying the TOG 2 is a bad tank?
I didn't say it was a bad tank.
It's an awesome tank. It has so many hit points. It's got the hit points to compare
Once
with a
it-
tier 8 heavy tank,
Once
sir.
it finally shows up to the... Can you imagine bringing a TOG 2 to Cliff and how long it would take just to get to the battle?
No, you turn right and you go straight towards that water. You get in the water and you're a battleship. You turn cannons and you just start firing on the land.
You go for the arc fire, right?
Yeah.
You have to elevate and wait, and
It
you
works
fire 3 times to test where the shots are going to be.
Well, I mean, you have to zero in. You have to figure out how everything's going.
All the warships coming into beta, who knows when.
It's an alpha right now.
It's
so.
an alpha. Well, the first premium tank I ever bought was a TOG 2 because it was on sale.
First premium I got, Type 59.
Wow, nice work. Nice
Yeah.
work. Do you miss the T50-2?
God, I miss the T50. I wish they'd made a premium out of it, because like with the T34, the formerly tier 9 American heavy tank, which was much like the T32, just bigger and better in every way. It just was.
It's
And then
slower too.
It's
and the
now
reload time
well,
is a lot
now it's
longer.
slower. It used to be pretty nimble and actually have some of the best DPM in the game, but now it's a tier 8 heavy. It's got its own problems. But it was nice that they made that into a
Hey
premium
man, I
tank.
use that T34 a lot to grind some credits.
Hey, it's a good tank.
man.
It's not as awesome as when I used to play it, back when it was really, really awesome.
It was really
Yeah.
awesome back in the
It's
day.
still pretty good, though.
I like
But
it.
I wish they'd done that with a T52. I mean, the reason they removed it is because it didn't perform like that in real life. It wasn't really like a sports car. So you just probably could have slowed it down. I wish they'd slowed it down and threw it into a preview. That would have made me happy, because then I at least would have had the model to look at sometimes
Yeah.
and just look it back at old days and be like, yeah.
Well, somebody needs to buy you a physical model. Well,
I
it was
just-
only a prototype tank, right? Or
Yeah, I
did
think it was only a prototype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
the
maybe
T50 saw
3D printing is all the rage these days, kids. So maybe somebody can 3D print you.
Dodd,
T52.
you're watching. I know it. Dodd, you can 3D print me this. You go to Clemson. I know you guys have one.
We have about a minute before the battle starts, and quick reminder, guys, too, make sure to follow us on Twitter at WGLNA. We're handing out codes. Send us a picture of your gaming rig. Where do you command from? And we'll send you some codes out. The code is for 2,000 gold, 7 days of premium, and 200,000 credits. Definitely something you want to take a quick picture of and upload on your phone. It's easy these days, man. You don't have to print out a Polaroid, then scan it onto your scanner, convert it into a JPEG folder or file, send it in an email attachment.
Jeez, Clutch. Did you
It's
really scan Polaroids?
1998.
You scanned Polaroids?
No, I never did.
Oh, okay.
I never did.
Because you knew the process, though.
Yeah, well, I had to scan headshots back in the day,
Oh.
but they weren't Polaroids. They were full 8x10s,
Oh, okay.
high DPI color. A long time ago. Let's go ahead and jump into the game, guys. Battle number 1, Hammer Time versus No Limit on Cliff.
This is easy to call. 150, 100, and 4
Viva la France!
1390s against 5 1390s.
This
I-
mobility
It's
is
absurd.
crazy.
Yeah.
But that 5100 with its damage output and slightly more armor.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's not
I
gonna
don't think
matter.
it's maybe in between the RNG figures.
No,
But
it's-
I think this is going to be very entertaining.
This is going to be an entertaining battle. I'm expecting a clash right at the start. Please, clash right at the start. Or maybe, Clutch, east side push.
East side push.
East side
Is
push.
it possible?
Right around it.
No, it
'Cause-
looks like it could be west side here. NYPD leading the charge. Nyander right behind him. And NYPD
But no
seems to
limit.
be going
They're just going
crazy.
straight up the middle. They've got the high ground. They've got the high ground advantage. If they make it over to the west, they could shut down the push from Hammer Time, maybe cutting some members off. And actually, 2 members, Urtai, Mexibean. Oh, wait, they're going to go middle. Static, Floppy Draft, Compton, Urtai, Mexibean. Just booking it right down there. They're crossing the open, and in to their west, little do they know, are most of the tier 8s. Oh, actually, they do.
I
make this
really
the
like
tier
what
8.
No Limit's doing. They're saying, hey, our T1s are going to fall. Let's move the battle over across the way. Let's get away from the center side where usually the engagement happens and fire from across this position. The donut is going to be the main engagement, and now the push is going to be really, really tough against Hammer Time because Drynitz is still not going to be in the fight.
Well, they're just about to round the corner as Compton is going to spot out most of this push static, and Mexibean are going to find, along with another 1390 Urtai, a number of these members. They're focusing down. Photo finish down to 115, and he will go down first tier 8, but Urtai's at 56. Urtai may go down in a moment. No, he will stay alive, as instead, another 1390 static will go down.
Drynitz finally being able to move in to get some shots on the side, but he totally misses against Floppy Giraffe and Mexibean. Floppy Giraffe cruising in on the 1390. He tries to land another shot against NYPD. Compton 310 takes down the Andir, and Floppy Giraffe is getting unloaded upon by Drynitz. NYPD now at 391. One more shot. Floppy Giraffe will fall, and he does from Drynitz. They did not focus on him because he was hidden next to that mountain cover.
But
Zazie
and Compton have to disengage because they're both reloading, but 22 seconds on blue base. Compton is going to return and try to stop that as best he can. Remember, they lost that T1 advantage earlier on, so they didn't have anyone to defend. One of their tiers has to return to base. Shots go out from the east. Urtai does not make any connections. Compton is going to take hits, though, before he spots Overlord Prime. Anyone going to hit? There. Urtai is able to get the kill. Kriegsmaster, though, is able to escape and live just a little longer.
NYPD in that 1390 got a nice shot on Compton as he was coming close to those T1s. One shot, he will fall. NYPD, however, sees Urtai, fires. Urtai at 56. Zazie in the 1390 could get behind him and get that cleanup kill.
Coming in
Zazie
hot. I see
waiting.
two tier 8s onto Mexibean and Urtai.
It's Drynitz, and he gets one shot. Does he get two? He fires and misses, but he goes for the ram damage and destroys Urtai. Nice work from Drynitz. He killed 3 tanks at least. 2 of the T1s falling to him earlier on. Compton, the 310, now going to get surround fire here. T1 almost takes him down. Kriegsmaster staying in the fight, and NYPD gets the final cleanup kill. And that's going to be a victory for, not #RU, that's actually for Hammer Time. Sorry about that, guys. Nice work by Hammer Time in game number 1.
Yeah, really well played. They even had the low ground, but you didn't have No Limit take advantage of their high ground. They didn't know they had it until it was pretty much too late, and when they began the engagement, it was a little bit staggered. The few of the tier 8s were still not quite there. They got there a little late, and the focus fire was pretty good. They got the first kill, but then they lost a tier 8, and then they had another one that was very low. So health pool went in favor of Hammer Time very early on.
Well, Drynitz, I think, was one of the top performers because I felt at first he was going to be too far from the fight because he still had to climb up that mountain.
Mm-hmm.
But when he came in, he landed 8 for 14 of his shots. A couple misses because his angle was a little bit derpy.
Yeah.
Trying to aim against those tanks.
If you ever try and shoot from there, it happens a lot in the light tanks and medium tanks on that map. It's hard to deal with. It just is a hard position to shoot
That
from.
was the factor they were not counting on, though. For him to come in, he had 5 shots out of his 6 ready to go still.
And he got 5 kills, by the way.
Yeah, he
So,
did great.
Cleanup crew right there. That really,
it up.
he probably did more effective damage than he's actually getting
Well, I saw
credit for.
him get 3 of the kills, the 2 T1s at the beginning,
Yeah.
shut him down. Which, once he took down the 2 T1s, I would probably reload as well.
Yeah.
And then wait for the engagement. We're going to take a quick commercial break, guys. We come back. It's going to be battle number 2 of No Limit versus Hammer Time. Stay tuned. You're watching the Gold League for World of Tanks. Everybody, welcome back to World of Tanks Gold League, and we want to give a special mention to Edward Ma, who sent in his tweet on Twitter at WGLNA. I like to call him the legend. I command tanks, planes, and soon-to-be ships from this old-fashioned monster. And there you go, glowing with pride as well. That's where he commands from. So thank you, Edward. We went ahead and sent you one of the codes that we have, so make sure to check your DM on Twitter. And you guys can get these codes. Just simply follow us on Twitter at WGLNA. Yes, you do have to follow us for us to send you the direct message.
Yep.
And send us a
I
picture.
saw people in chat when we were in break were asking if they can get a code because they got one today. Now, I believe the answer to that is they're all from the same batch, all of these codes. So
I think it's 1 code per account.
you can get a code, and if you earn another one, win another one, you can give it to one of your friends. I know you guys you have platoon mates and everything, so why not give them one of the codes that you win and both of you can have some awesome gold and premium time.
That's right. The next battle is underway, guys. The map is going to be Mines, No Limit versus Hammer Time.
Taking a look at these tanks, we've got Pershing, T-69, and 3 1390s for the side of No Limit. On the other side, Hammer Time will have a Pershing, T-69, 2 1390s, and a WZ-132.
I like the choice of the WZ-132. I was playing with some SIP members earlier on, and they asked me, why would you bring a WZ-132? And I said, Mines. You have them have the shot available earlier compared to these 1390s that have to load their drum. You get a track shot. If they get lagged behind, the rest of the 1390s, once they're reloaded, have the open shots, they get the kill.
Did I mix this up? No Limit is blue, right? Yes.
No Limit is blue. That is correct. And here comes the crashing fall. Near Deer takes a big hit from one of the 1390s. And now Urtai takes another hit, 554. Neander tries to get out of there. One more shot from the WZ-132 lands on the Zazie.
But Mexibean is able to shut down NYPD. That Pershing is keeping him at bay. Photo finish will begin the engagement on him. And Drynets will actually come out, and they're going to focus on this Pershing leaving the hill. Zazie, though, takes hits in the rear as he tries to exit down to 7 hit points. Mexibean's taking a lot of hits, but he's still not going down. Down to 6 points finally, but a lot of shells have been wasted. Huge advantage for No Limit to bring this in momentum back into their favor.
Hammer Time was focusing too long on that one tank, and that's going to allow the Redsem to sweep in. Drynets at super low health. He's going to be on the run, but he falls. Static almost gets the kill, but it's Urtai that's able to do it. Squirrel Tag, the T-69 pushing up against Photo Finish. Photo Finish falling back here in his T-69. I believe he is out. NYPD and his Pershing.
But Static will be able to get this. Oh, he misses the shot. Really needed that, but he's got such a great fire rate. This WZ-132 is just going to pepper these guys to death. One more shot will not be able to get as NYPD slips away.
Photo Finish still in the T-69 covers the Pershing in the retreat, and the 2 T-1s are going to go for the flag cap, and that's going to pull away some of the attention of the centerline No Limit players. They do have one of the T-1s all the way up towards the east side in Charlie 8. But Photo Finish is going to push up in the T-69. He's going to take a big hit, though. They're trying to slow down No Limit, but Squirrel Tag from around the corner in his T-69. He misses the Pershing. Photo Finish crashes, or gets crashed into from Compton. Squirrel Tag gets the last hit. The Pershing down to 33 hit points. Now it's up to the remainder of No Limit to get the final kill against these 2 T-1s. And with 34 seconds left to go, they're going to have to move quick, but I think they can get there in time.
That's all right. Floppy Giraffe is already on the way back. He will be able to stop this. And if not him, then his medium battle buddy Squirrel Tag is on the way to help. Floppy Giraffe does spot Overlord Prime and opens fire, but where?
Overlord Prime is able to get the kill.
Yo, he got crewed out.
Another shot. Squirrel Tag misses. 10 seconds left to go in the T-69 for Squirrel Tag to get there in time. 7 seconds. He's going to have to line up a shot and not miss here. 3 seconds as he's still reloading.
Fire! Shoot Squirrel Tag.
Whoa!
He didn't. Did he? He didn't get it. They capped.
They cap it. Hammer Time caps it.
What are you? Amazing. How could he have?
The T-1s holding on for dear life as a T-69 charges him.
Wow.
He must have been out of shots.
He was. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it was ammo racked or something. His reload was really long. I don't get it.
He fired 12 shots. He had to have been out. Wow. He had to have been out of shots. No.
Oh my gosh. And then here's the thing: a Floppy Giraffe got crewed out. Now, getting crewed out is when all of your crew members die.
Yes.
You don't have to lose all of your hit points. If your crew members die, your tank is no longer operational. There's no one left in the tank. So when a Floppy Giraffe gets killed, now here's the replay. He's gonna die right there. He takes hits. I'm watching this from my perspective. I don't see this happen. I don't get that notification. You guys get to see that. He actually didn't lose all of his hit points. All he had to do was lose 2 crew members. It's just pretty easy with T1 spam.
He did fire. He missed.
He didn't get time to zero his shots. At that range, a T1 Cunningham has to zero all the way. And you've got some serious stuff going on. And amazing. Not able to get that ram in time. There's just this tiny window in the last second that you can get kills to win it, but you have to kill both of those T1s, and then you could. But
No. I
didn't get it.
It's so close. It's so close. Wow. I'm sure No Limit is not too happy.
Hammer Times, though,
Right now.
has to be ecstatic.
Hammer Time, I think, is going a little bit crazy right now over
Yeah.
TeamSpeak, and I definitely want to hear sounds of the game from
We
that.
heard something
so
like
make
this.
a note, admin. Make a note, and we're going to
Make a note, Clutch.
Sounds of the game.
Yeah. I want to hear what they're saying after that. And also, don't forget, remember Wreak Havoc's one on Abby in, was it Season 1? I don't remember who they were against, but
Cazadores. They're up against the
Cazadores?
Cazadores.
And on Abby, and they managed to get the cap. Just similar situation to this. They lost the fight, but Tier 8s were too far out, and there were no Tier 1s that were able to get the cap victory. It's just a situation where T1s win the war.
Amazing. Amazing. And T1s, guys, you can't count them out, especially when you play the team battles. Some people are still getting adjusted to the 7x42 format of what tanks to bring. 5 Tier 8s and 2 T1s. And that is what can happen. Those T1s. Don't ever give up.
Never.
Don't ever give up.
That was amazing.
Well, that's going to bring us into battle number 3 here. The next battle is going to be on Ensk. And we're just going to keep going. We're not going to take a break here. We're going to keep going.
Interesting map choice. We've had Cliff,
oh, man.
and we've had Mines. So 2 relatively open, rocky maps. Now we're going to go shift over into...
Straight, flat, city side.
Exactly. I wonder how that'll switch it up, because Low Limit's been doing okay. They actually won the fight, as it were, on Mines. But on a stand-up fight on Ensk, maybe? I don't know.
I think they could do it. The trick here, and this comes down to kind of that home field advantage, right? You're up 2-0. You don't have to push into the enemy. The enemy has to come to you. You can draw out the next 2 maps and you'll win the series.
Yeah, but it's
now,
really
that's not,
risky to play that way.
It is very risky to play that way.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. And that's not how you want to play as a team. You don't want to play for the draw. You want to play for the win. But when you play like that for the first 5 minutes of the game, that makes your opponent go, what are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? It kind of sweats them out. And because of that, they'll be more jumpy and they won't be as
when the pressure's on them,
smooth.
some people don't perform.
Exactly. Well, let's go ahead and find out what's going to happen, guys, in battle number 3. No Limit versus Hammer Time on Ensk.
Taking a look at these tanks, we have 2 AMX 5100s, 2 IS-3s, and a 1390 for the side of No Limit. On the other side, Hammer Time. Oh, sorry, on the No Limit side in the red, that is static. Static in the 5100, 4 IS-3s.
4 IS-3s compared to 2 at 1390. We saw 1390 before. This is on Hammer Time. NYPD in the 5100. His positioning here, to me, is going to be the most crucial. The most crucial for No Limit to focus on, and the most crucial for Hammer Time to keep him alive. And that's for both the 5100s. We see a lot of engagements where the 5100s are targeted down, and the IS-3s will actually cruise past other IS-3s and focus on those 5100s because of their damage output. And NYPD is one of the top performers in a 5100, as we can see from the stats. He does very well in this tank.
And very well running into buildings.
Why not?
Yeah.
You know,
Take that building.
Sometimes you just have to show the architect who's boss in this town.
I think the architect's showing that 5100 is boss. That building's not going down. Oh, there's actually an engagement
Shots
happening.
fired. 5100 is focusing on that IS-3. Compton 310 pushing up against Overlord Prime. He's taking some big hits here. Overlord pulling him out. Durasta takes a hit from NYPD. Compton the first to fall here. Drynitz gets that last kill. And NYPD and Neander focusing down on Durasta. He falls. Mexi being in the IS-3 is taking a lot of hits. These 5100s are just unloading on these IS-3s. But here comes Static in his 5100, focusing on the 1390. This is where it could turn around if Mexibean is able to keep these guys distracted and alive. Neander in the 5100 trying to get away. 2 shots coming out of the 5100 and the IS-3. Photo finish in his IS-3. Not in time to get one of the side shots. Urtai in his IS-3 turns around and focuses on photo finish. He takes a big hit to the front. Urtai still has a lot of health. Mexibean gets a nice kill against Neander here.
Wow, really well done. Coming back in this fight. Now it's NYPD and photo finish. 2 tier 8s that are relatively healthy versus a photo. Oh, never mind. Photo finish is not relatively healthy. He's at 439. Static could finish him off with 2 good hits. Urtai, 1 more shot could finish him off. Will it get the shot?
Finish
Ooh.
at 55. Photo finish gets the kill against Mexibean. Urtai and Static now up against a full health 5100 and a 55 health IS-3. Urtai wants to focus on that IS-3, get the easy kill. However, he fires in the 5100 and it's a miss. Static now moves in his 5100. Who's going to focus on? He's actually going to
try to
move
block.
in front of the 5100.
He's got to block for his battle, but he got to keep him alive just a little bit longer. Static is finally reloaded. He's just going to block and get the track shots. They're so crucial. Urtai needs to get a shot also. He is loaded, and he should focus on photo finish, but no, he won't get a chance because he's taken down by NYPD.
Cap at 10 seconds, though. Red base under attack. The blue team could get a score on the board. 6 seconds left for No Limit not to get 3-0'd, but actually put a point on the board. Can they do it? They are able to do it. It is capped, and that is going to be a victory for No Limit. You said it, Randall. Can they have a good engagement in the city map of Ensk? And they did. And those 5100s at first were plugging into those IS-3s a lot. But the IS-3s turned into the tip of the spear, really, forced it down the throats of those IS-3s to damage them, allowing the 5100 to come around. And that 1390, its mobility got trampled on, literally squashed.
He became like any other tank in that brawl. He didn't get to use mobility, and because of that, it was very easy to deal with the 1390. It's well played by No Limit. I'm really thinking they're stronger in the brawl right now than Hammer Time. We saw that on Mines, our last battle. We see this on Ensk. Just force the brawl, and No Limit can probably take a win. That's their strategy from this point. They start a brawl, and they'll just win it every time.
Static was 2,554 damage, 4 kills, 10 for 11 shots. Almost 2 full drums here. He took 24 hits. I'm sure a lot of those were from a T1. Took a serious amount of damage, but not enough to debilitize him. And he, I think, was the MVP of that battle.
All right. Well played.
5100s.
Yeah.
5100s got to keep them alive. But
If
I
they
really
get a second reload off, then it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to watch out for that, guys. Prohorovka is going to be the next map, and we got about 90 seconds for these guys to pick their tanks. So No Limit shows their teeth on a city map. They do well, and now we're back to an open map. What does No Limit do?
They want to start a brawl. Maybe a lot of these guys are from the team that we might recognize as very aggressive on Prohorovka in Season 1. I'll let you guess real quick. Do you
Very
remember?
aggressive on Season 1?
Very
on
aggressive.
Prohorovka?
Had members like Urtai, Darasta.
I want to say River of Blood.
No,
but
not River of Blood.
They weren't on that team.
Was
The next one I want to say is Cazadores.
No.
Cat Fast Nation. No, wasn't them.
They had a very Ermigerd Kernivern.
Oh, no! I haven't heard that name in a while.
Ermigerd Kernivern. Remember their
EC.
strat? Yeah.
No, I don't. Please remind me. what
Okay,
it
they
was.
used to just push straight over the middle, right at the beginning of this, and just throw 1390s with T69s to bring it up in the rear, and they would just pummel their opponent. They'd have that high ground, and they'd start the engagement down below. And most teams are kind of split because they're sending guys out for early scout runs. They're sending guys to the east or the west. And if you catch out a portion of the team right there at the beginning, and you start a fight in one of those little pits, you can get yourself an early advantage, and from there your opponent can't come back because then it's a 5v4 or 5v3, and it's just not fair. So if No Limit pulls it out, I would be pleasantly surprised.
Well, that's what I remember seeing from No Limit, except it wasn't a full-on push into that side. It was Blasey in the WZ-132, cruising across, going into enemy territory at first, trying to land a hit on a 1390, then coming back.
Yeah.
I did remember seeing that.
But we don't have a Blasey anymore.
last season. No.
No Blasey for No Limit.
No.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
And with him gone, they've been using the WZ-132, so they've kind of kept to that. But there's so many new members on this team. You've got a lot of new people that we didn't see last time. Actually, battle has begun. Let's cut to those tanks.
Let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. Prohorovka, battle number 4, No Limit versus Hammer Time.
I just realized I think the colors on my mod are wrong. So
Yeah, we'll get that fixed.
I'll get that fixed.
We'll get that fixed.
Yeah.
Sorry about
So
that,
you
guys.
see the blue team on the left is actually the red team on the right on my screen. So you've got Object 416 Pershing and 3 1390s for the side of Hammer Time. Then you have 2 Pershings, 3 1390s for the side of No Limit.
Yeah. You can always jump to my screen, guys, since I think it's right on mine. I
Is it?
think.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, it's right on yours, Clutch.
We'll get it fixed, guys. No
All
worries.
right.
We do have the best mods in the business, though. We make the game look pretty and spectator-friendly. And it takes a lot of hard work to do that.
Sometimes things just
Sometimes
don't quite go as
humans'
planned.
errors happen. Sometimes they say
I think they might do
moddable
it. Clutch.
instead of mod. What? Instead of Moadib.
Please be doing it. I see them kind of moving in that formation.
This is a split formation coming out of Hammer Time. I don't think they're going to be engaged for this. This could be
Please do
a
it.
serious,
Oh, please just go right
serious
over.
isolation scenario here.
They're
Oh,
not gonna-
nope, they're not going to fully
Aw.
commit.
I'm disappointed. They looked like they were so set up for it. These Pershings were moving up. Just, I wanted engagement. It would have been so delicious. You've let me down, no limit.
Dryness in the 1390 is going to be the one that's closest, while the Pershing photo finish pushes up step by step into that little divot there, that little valley. And he is going to fall back a little bit. Dryness coming back to the road. This is going to be, it looks like it's more of a north versus south instead of an east versus west scenario.
That's a relief. That should make a little bit faster battle. However, I mean, it takes a whole minute just for everyone to get into position, so it'll be until minute 5 before we should see a real engagement.
Well, Compton 310 was spotted for a bit. The Pershing's going to fall back. Let's go ahead and jump over to where the T1s are. One's next to the railroad tracks. He's a little bit far away to try to spot anything at this time, but he could spot somebody getting close if they're moving to the south. And all the way to the south in the Lowell tractor is Overlord Prime.
Durasta on the other side will be sitting in the east side of the map, all the way in Foxtrot 0.
You know what I called the Lowell tractor before commentating
Yeah?
tanks? Was the TOG 2. I called it the Lowell tractor, the LOL tractor.
Yeah, it's the Lowell tractor.
Yeah. Drynitz still moving back and forth here along with photo finish. It's going to be a bit of a standstill, guys, for both teams here as we move on just into the 8-minute mark. And a shot fired from photo finish. It looks like it was, yes, it was a blind shot, as you guys learned about in Ruse Clues.
It happens. Pershing, it's very easy to get away with. You got a great reload time. You can take out T1s if you random, just hit them. Although, right now, actually, No Limit has decided to go into the east side. They've spotted Drynitz in 1390. And now we've actually changed from a north-south to an east-west.
Just as fast as that. Once they cross the railroad tracks, that's what it turns into. But Kriegmaster's in a crucial spot if they move further to the south. That's going to be some information for Hammer Time to know, hey, guess what? No Limit's no longer to the north. And that is going to allow us to maybe push up a little bit and try to see if anyone's spotting that north side. Kriegmaster, again, in the T1, camping right next to this bush. He could see past those railroad tracks if somebody moves further south, if they do pop up. And there you see stats on the screen there. 22 games so far in the T1 Cunningham, at least we have for stats. Now these different teams and different individuals on the teams will play different tanks. Relics comes to mind. When we saw him in some tier 8s, we're thinking, what?
Performed really well in those two.
How is this possible? But he did. He did. And leading the charge is Zazin at 1390. What are you seeing over there for?
I'm seeing Durasta has cleared out the southeast. He's actually stopped. A little bit confusing. He may be seeing lag or something. I don't know. Or maybe, I think Durasta is actually commanding, so he's stopping to kind of tell everyone what to do, think about the situation, then move forward. I've been sitting in on practices from different teams, and from what I've been able to tell, Durasta's been the battle caller for No Limit. That's a big change, by the way, because Durasta was not last season's caller. That was Blasey. And now Durasta has reached the train tracks, and he may cross over, go for some spotting. I don't think he'll be able to find anyone. He may get found himself, though, by a T1 from Hammer Time. Who is that T1 in about?
T1 from Hammer Time?
Kilo 5.
Kilo 5. That is going to be Overlord Prime. It's not. It's the L tractor.
Ah,
that's
yeah. He's got some nice view range. He should. I think he might be.
So
able
the
to
view
speed.
range is longer for the L tractor
Yeah.
compared to the T1.
Yeah, the T1's chosen because it's faster and the burst is really nice, so you can kind of 1v1
But the
another T1.
penetration's higher for the L tractor.
Yeah. The little 37 is pretty actually.
I don't think I've ever played an L tractor yet
You
because
haven't?
I'm used to playing the T1
Oh.
for playing the T1s.
You should try it out. It's
I really want to. It's on my list. It's on my list.
As a passive scout, it works really well.
The Object 416 is on my list as well. I played a little bit of it. I want to play more of it so I can make a garage segment. But I just, when it comes to team choices, whenever I needed to play a scout, I always chose the T1 Cunningham.
It's a solid tank.
It felt right. It felt American. What country makes the L tractor?
It's German.
I see. That's why.
Yes.
I was used to the American tanks. German tanks I like to play the most, I think, are the Waffentrage. That's my favorite.
The weird
right
thing
now.
I've noticed actually a trend in German tanks is they actually generally don't have the best view range. They have like second view range to like American tanks. And American tanks often have the best view range, but the thing is the T1 Cunningham is not the best view range. The Lowell tractor has some of the best view range for its tier.
Well, a lot of the tanks as well, for the German tanks, they catch fire easily because of how the system works, where all of the
Well, actually,
fluids of the tank would catch to the bottom, and so a shot to the front.
Well, another thing
catch
is
fire.
the way the modules work in World of Tanks. They combine the
engine to the transaxle.
the
to the
transmission.
front of the tank.
Yeah, the transmission counts as an engine module. So the thing is, you can make an engine fire by shooting the
front,
transmission
yeah.
in World of Tanks, whereas that wouldn't really probably
Unless you had a
happen.
great bounce inside the tank.
Well, yeah. It's generally, there were other more flammable things that would catch fire. The transmission wouldn't be the source of fire in a German tank, which is actually a lot of people's complaints, but I get it. I get it. You're just going for a simplicity system. If you make things overcomplicated, then half the world can't play the game.
That's right. Yeah, there is a balance in all things in life, folks, especially in video games. 4 minutes and 3 seconds. The first tank that fell was Kriegmaster. He was over next to those railroad tracks. And that's going to leave a gap opened up where the Pershing photo finish is going to try to close the view range gap. But that's going to be tough for him to do since he could overexpose himself. And he is bouncing back and forth here, trying to scout anything, maybe even trying to bait anyone to try to shoot at him, where his awesome turret would bounce it off. 3 minutes and 36. It's going to have to be a commitment from either team here to go for the win, otherwise it will be a draw.
There's no real damage put out, though. Like, almost no one's taken any damage, so I don't see this going anywhere just because you don't have enough. There's not enough damage. That's really what it is. You need more damage output early game. You need to get some traded fire so that when you begin the engagement, you can eliminate a tank very quickly and then take that advantage and just roll with it. But we've only got 3 minutes left, and we could see a cap fast or something like we saw yesterday. But it's really tough to do that, and it's a risky thing to do. I doubt it would work. But DeRosta, a floppy giraffe, are in the south. They're ready to go into that position, so that could be No Limit's plan. They could be going for that cap fast right at the end.
2 minutes and 50 seconds left on the map here. And could they be crossing? The Pershing's going to be leading the way. Squirrel Tag going to take some shots from Photo Finish. Photo Finish tries to land another shot into the 1390.
Squirrel Tag's taking a lot of hits. He lost his ammo rack, actually, and he may have to burn his kit for that. He did burn his kit after he was tracked. Squirrel Tag is going to be able to make his way across. Overlord Prime is spotted in the lull tractor. He will need to go down for a cap fast to succeed.
This is going to be crucial for No Limit to decide which tank they're going to focus on first, because the spread of Hammer Time is going to be working against them initially. But once that spread closes, they can focus on tanks better. And Photo Finish is getting some great shots for Hammer Time.
DeRosta in the T1 will go down. He will not be able to make cap happen. It's going to be a long cap for a single T1 to make that happen. He has 100 seconds, though, and there's a minute 56 left in the battle. Static will engage with NYPD.
NYPD in the 416, going to fire back and forth against that 1390. Urtai far away, still getting focused from that Pershing. The 721 to 543 in that HP. NYPD lands another good shot against the 1390, and the Andir from far away gets the cleanup kill. And now No Limit's going to try to push up against the rest of the tanks, and NYPD from the south can get those long-range shots to the most exposed and vulnerable pieces of those tanks, the rear armor.
Mexi Bean is able to engage on the Andir. I think the Andir is actually reloading, and a ram could kill Mexi Bean, and yes, the Andir will go with it, but not fast enough, and actually takes only some damage himself. Now, only Mexi Bean is the last tier 8 alive, and he'll have to take Drynit, Zazie, Neander, and NMPD. That's pretty unlikely.
Neander not able to hold out. Drynitz gets the kill against Mexi Bean, but she falls. And now it's Drynitz, Zazie, and NYPD versus a floppy giraffe all the way to the other side of the map. Shots fired, and that's it. Hammer Time closes out the series 3-1 on Prohorovka.
Well played.
Very well played indeed, and the type of play style coming out of No Limit, going down the center, I feel that they did not have enough information to make that decision work for them once they got to the other side. If they would have moved north, got one of the tanks, then set up for a long-range fire to the south, it would have been better. However, they didn't know the tank spread.
Yeah, they didn't really get into a groove on this map quite as much as they could have, and they spent a lot of time clearing the southeast. And after they cleared the southeast, there was not a lot of time left in the battle. They had not done a lot of scouting on the west side. They'd spent their attention making sure there was nothing in their backfield, and after they figured there was nothing there, it was really just wasted time. And then they went for the fight. Hammer Time knew that they could just sit there and camp it out. They did. They repelled that attack very well, and the cap fast from No Limit just didn't work. DeRosta went down, and then the other T1 on cap finally gets there, but it's one T1. It's not fast enough. There's not enough cap points going down.
We're going to take a break, guys. When we come back, the next matchup, match number 3 for the night, Fulcrum Gaming versus Top Tier. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Wargaming.net Gold League live, Southern California.